There is a golfer right now playing an 85 MPH swing with a Pro V1 in his bag, convinced he is playing the best ball in golf. And somewhere on the same course, someone with a nearly identical swing speed is playing a Srixon that costs less, carries further, and fits his game better. The first golfer blames his driver. He blames his tempo. He blames the wind. The one thing he never questions is the ball. That is exactly where this conversation starts. The phrase "best golf ball" is one of the most misleading ideas in the game. It sounds specific, it sounds useful, but without swing speed attached to it, it means almost nothing. The ball that wins majors, fills tour bags, and dominates pro shop shelves was not designed for the way most amateur golfers actually swing. It was designed for elite contact, elite speed, and elite consistency. And if your swing lives between 80 and 90 miles per hour, that gap between design and reality is quietly costing you distance every single round. This video covers the 5 best golf balls for 80 to 90 MPH swing speeds in 2026. Not the 5 most famous, not the 5 most expensive, the 5 that actually work for the way players in this speed range really swing, really miss, and really play. If you want content like this built around real performance for real golfers, subscribe now. There is more coming that your pro shop will never tell you. Here is what most equipment conversations skip. At 80 to 90 MPH, you are not slow. But you are not a tour player either. You live in a transition zone where the wrong ball does not always feel wrong. It just quietly leaves yards on the table. The compression window is the concept that changes how you think about ball selection. Every golf ball is designed to deform at a specific range of impact force. When your swing speed matches that window, the ball compresses correctly, energy transfers efficiently, launch gets easier, and carry shows up. When you are outside that window, even slightly, something different happens. The ball either does not compress enough, which flattens the launch and kills carry, or it compresses too easily, which reduces the response a faster swing would produce. At 85 MPH, a ball built for 105 MPH tour contact may not be giving you what the label promises. Not because the ball is bad, because the window is wrong. Starting at number 5 is the Callaway Supersoft. If your swing is closer to 80 than 90, this ball deserves serious consideration, and not because it is a beginner option. The Supersoft has one of the lowest compression ratings on the market, which means it responds to moderate impact forces more efficiently than firmer balls. For a golfer swinging at 80 to 84 MPH, that translates directly: easier launch, more carry, less punishment on off-center contact. What it does well is straightforward. It flies relatively straight, keeps mishits playable, and delivers a soft, predictable feel on the green that adds confidence where tension tends to build. On a day when contact is inconsistent, a Supersoft keeps the round manageable in a way that a firmer ball will not. The trade-off is real. As you approach 88 or 90 MPH, the Supersoft can start to feel like it lacks response. Some players at the upper end of this range notice it compresses almost too willingly, which costs control around the green. If your short game depends on precise stopping power, this ball asks you to adjust expectations. But for the right player, the Supersoft is not a compromise. It is a correction. Number 4 is the Titleist Tour Soft. This is the ball Titleist built for players who want the brand, the feel, and the consistency, but who are not extracting full value from a Pro V1. It sits between a distance ball and a tour ball, and for many 80 to 90 MPH golfers, that middle ground is exactly where they should be. The Tour Soft has a large core designed to promote ball speed without requiring aggressive compression. The cover is softer than the Pro V1, which helps around the green without demanding the strike precision a tour ball expects. Distance is competitive, the flight is stable, and the feel at impact is genuinely satisfying without the firmness some players associate with premium Titleist options. The trade-off is short game spin. It does not generate the stopping power of a Pro V1, and if you consistently hit precise pitch shots that need to check hard, the Tour Soft gives up a step. But for most 80 to 90 MPH golfers, that spin difference is largely theoretical. It shows up on ideal strikes, in ideal conditions, for players with more short game precision than the average amateur carries on a Saturday morning. If you trust Titleist and want Titleist, the Tour Soft may fit your swing speed better than the ball everyone assumes you should play. Number 3 is the Bridgestone E12 Speed. This is where the conversation starts to shift toward a different kind of value, and not just financial value. The E12 Speed is a two-piece ball built around distance and forgiveness, and for a wide range of players inside the 80 to 90 MPH window. It delivers both more reliably than its price suggests. Bridgestone designed this ball with an active acceleration mantle that increases ball speed on contact, particularly on strikes that are not perfectly centered. That is a meaningful feature for the average 80 to 90 MPH golfer, who is not making tour-level contact on every swing. The flight is strong, the trajectory is consistent, and the ball holds its line reasonably well in moderate wind. The value argument here is not just about saving money, it is about removing hesitation. A golfer who is afraid to lose a ball swings differently. He steers, he decelerates, he protects instead of commits. When a sleeve costs significantly less than a tour option, the mental weight of a wayward drive shrinks. And that freedom can show up in the swing before it ever shows up on the scorecard. The trade-off is short game performance. The E12 Speed does not have a urethane cover, which means it will not generate the same spin response on chips and pitches that a tour-level ball produces. For players who rely on that spin to save strokes around the green, this is a real limitation. But for players who lose more strokes off the tee and in the fairway than they do around the green, the trade-off points in the right direction. A ball does not need a urethane cover to beat your current ball off the tee, and for a lot of 80 to 90 MPH golfers, the tee shot is still where the round is won or lost. If you have found the right ball on this list so far, leave a comment below and let us know what you are currently playing. Like this video if the compression window idea shifted how you think about ball selection, and subscribe if you want to keep seeing equipment breakdowns built around how real golfers actually play. Now let us get to the top 2, and this is where it gets interesting. The transition from number 3 to number 2 is not a step down in quality. It is a step into the most important part of this argument. Number 2 is the Titleist Pro V1. And before anyone closes the video, that placement is not a mistake, and it is not clickbait. The Pro V1 is still one of the best golf balls ever made. It is consistent, controlled, trusted across decades of tour play, and genuinely elite around the green. If you have clean contact, reliable swing mechanics, and a short game that actually demands high spin response, the Pro V1 can absolutely work at 80 to 90 MPH. But this list is not about the best resume, it is about the best fit. Here is what the Pro V1 was designed to do. It was built for players who generate enough speed and enough consistent compression to unlock its full performance profile. The three-piece urethane construction rewards precise ball striking with exceptional greenside control. The flight is penetrating and controlled. The feel is firm but refined. For a tour player or a low handicapper with reliable mechanics, it performs exactly as advertised. The problem for many 80 to 90 MPH golfers is not that the Pro V1 fails. It is that they are not using everything they are paying for. The greenside spin that justifies the price requires strike quality and speed that most players in this range do not produce consistently. The penetrating flight that works beautifully for a tour player can translate to a slightly lower launch for a moderate swing speed, which is the opposite of what most 80 to 90 MPH players need. There is also the price factor, and not just in dollars. A golfer who paid $50 for a dozen Pro V1s plays differently near water, near trees, near anything that threatens the ball. That hesitation is not a character flaw. It is physics applied to psychology. And it costs strokes in ways that never show up in a ball speed test. The Pro V1 is not overrated. It is overassumed. There is a significant difference between those two things, and understanding that difference is exactly what separates a smart equipment decision from an expensive habit. For the golfer who has clean contact, swings consistently toward the 88 to 90 MPH end of this range, and genuinely uses short game spin to score, the Pro V1 belongs in the conversation. But for the majority of players in this speed window, there is a ball that solves the problem more directly. Number 1 is the Srixon Q-Star Tour, and this is not a surprise pick designed to generate controversy. It is the conclusion that the data points to when you remove brand loyalty from the equation and focus on what 80 to 90 MPH swing speeds actually need from a golf ball. The Q-Star Tour is a three-piece urethane ball with a compression rating that sits comfortably inside the window for moderate swing speeds. The fast layer core technology means the center is soft for easy compression at impact, while the outer layers gradually firm up to add ball speed and reduce driver spin. That combination is not an accident. It is exactly what a player at 80 to 90 MPH needs, a ball that launches without effort, carries without ballooning, and responds around the green without requiring tour-level strike precision. The flight is stable and efficient. Mishits do not collapse as dramatically as they do with firmer tour balls. The urethane cover delivers real short game feel and spin, which separates it from the two-piece options lower on this list. And the price sits noticeably below a Pro V1, which means the psychological weight of a lost ball is lighter, and that lightness shows up in the quality of the swing. This is not the ball with the most tour wins. It is not the ball with the biggest shelf presence at Golf Galaxy. It is the ball that was built closer to the problem most 80 to 90 MPH golfers actually have. Srixon does not beat Pro V1 here because Pro V1 is a bad ball. Srixon beats Pro V1 because at 80 to 90 MPH, fit beats reputation, every time. If someone in your Saturday group is still playing a tour ball that was designed for a swing they do not have, share this video with them. It might be the most useful thing that lands in their feed this season. And if you want to keep seeing equipment breakdowns that skip the marketing and focus on what actually works for the way real golfers play, subscribe now and hit the bell. The golfer who chooses by fit instead of by logo is the golfer who stops leaving yards on the table. You do not need the ball that wins the most tournaments. You need the ball that wins your launch window.